My name is Dr. Hannah Miles, a human psychiatrist specializing in space psychology. I remember the day when the tranquility of Horizon Station, our joint human-orc research facility orbiting a mysterious planet, was shattered. I was there, alongside Gordhak, the orc security chief, a figure as imposing as he was respected. The station, a marvel of human and orc engineering, was a testament to our cooperation in the pursuit of knowledge. Its corridors, adorned with symbols of both cultures, buzzed with the activities of scientists and researchers. That day, however, the buzz turned into chaos. It happened during my routine psychological evaluations. A crew member, previously stable and cheerful, suddenly snapped. His eyes, once calm, were now wild with an unrecognizable terror. He lunged at his colleagues, screaming incoherently about unseen horrors, his strength seemingly multiplied by his madness. The scene was chaotic. Crew members scrambled to subdue him, but his frenzy was beyond anything I had seen. It took Gordhak's intervention to finally restrain him. The crew member's final moments were harrowing. His body convulsed in a violent seizure before he collapsed, lifeless. The incident sent a ripple of fear through Horizon Station. Whispers filled the corridors, a mix of human and Orcish voices tinged with uncertainty and dread. The once peaceful research facility now felt like a vessel teetering on the edge of an abyss. As Gordhak and I reviewed the security footage, trying to piece together the events, the atmosphere in the station had shifted. The crew's routine activities were now marked by a palpable tension, every interaction shadowed by the fear of another outburst. The station's interior, a blend of sleek human design and robust Orcish architecture, seemed to close in on us. The common areas, usually bustling with collaboration, were now scenes of hushed conversations and anxious glances. Gordhak, his usually stoic demeanor shaken, turned to me. "Dr. Miles, we need to figure out what happened. This isn't just a case of space madness. Something else is at play here." I nodded, the weight of responsibility settling on my shoulders. As we delved into the investigation, unaware of the horrors that awaited us, the station continued its orbit around the enigmatic planet, a silent witness to the unfolding nightmare. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The tranquility of Horizon Station had been broken, and we were about to uncover truths that would challenge the very fabric of our reality. The rift of madness had opened, and its shadows were creeping into the minds of the crew, threatening to engulf us all in its dark embrace. The eerie calm that followed the first incident was short-lived. Within hours, more cases of psychosis emerged among the crew of Horizon Station. Each case was more violent and unpredictable than the last, sending a wave of panic throughout the facility. The common thread in each instance was the sudden onset of hallucinations and aggression, leading to a rapid mental breakdown. As the station's psychiatrist, I was overwhelmed. These weren't just isolated cases of space-induced psychosis. This was something far more sinister. The medical bay turned into a triage center, with crew members restrained for their own safety, their eyes reflecting a terror that seemed to stem from the depths of their psyche. Gordhak, with his team of orc and human security personnel, implemented a station-wide lockdown. The once lively corridors of Horizon Station became eerily quiet, the usual hum of scientific research replaced by the muffled sounds of distress calls and security alerts. Amidst this chaos, Gordhak and I discovered a startling correlation. The onset of the psychotic breaks coincided with the activation of an experimental device aboard the station, the Reality Rift. The device, a joint venture between human and orc scientists, was designed to alter perceptions of reality, a tool intended for deep space exploration and understanding of complex quantum phenomena. We decided to investigate the Reality Rift, located in a restricted section of the station. As we made our way there, the station seemed to transform before our eyes. The walls, typically adorned with symbols of human and orc unity, now appeared distorted, as if reflecting the inner turmoil of the crew. The reality rift's chamber was a stark contrast to the rest of the station. It was a room filled with pulsating lights and humming machinery, the air charged with an unexplainable energy. The device itself stood at the center, a complex array of quantum processors and reality-bending technology. Our investigation was interrupted by an emergency alert. The station was experiencing a reality warp. The corridors shifted and twisted unnaturally, as if the station itself was alive and contorting in pain. The laws of physics seemed to bend and break, creating a labyrinth of impossible geometry. Gordhack and I were separated in the chaos, each of us lost in a maze of ever-changing corridors. The station, our home in the stars, had become an alien landscape, a reflection of the madness that had gripped its crew. As I navigated the twisted halls, fighting off the disorientation and growing fear, I couldn't help but wonder if we were too late. The reality rift, and its ambition to explore the unknown, had unleashed something beyond our control, a force that threatened to consume not just our minds, but the very fabric of our reality. Lost in the ever-shifting corridors of Horizon Station, the reality around me felt like a waking nightmare. The walls pulsed and breathed as if the station itself was alive, its metal veins warping around me. My heart pounded in my chest as I pressed on, determined to uncover the truth behind the reality rift and its terrifying consequences. As I navigated through the station's altered state, my thoughts turned to the forbidden experiment that had led us here. I recalled the briefings about the reality rift, how it was heralded as a breakthrough in quantum exploration. It was designed to alter perceptions of reality, making the vastness of space more comprehensible to the human and orc mind. But something had gone horribly wrong. In a secluded lab, I found remnants of the initial experiments with the reality rift. Dusty logs and scattered data pads revealed a tale of ambition turned to dread. The early tests showed promise, but soon, unpredictable side effects emerged. Crew members reported disorienting visions and lapses in time. The project was deemed too unstable, too dangerous. It was shut down, or so we had thought. As I delved deeper into the records, the station around me seemed to react. The lights flickered, casting long shadows that danced on the walls. A chilling sensation crept up my spine as I realized the extent of what we were dealing with. The reality rift hadn't just been reactivated, it had evolved, grown beyond its initial design, tapping into the very essence of our minds and reality. Meanwhile, Gordhack, separated from me in this twisted version of Horizon Station, faced his own struggles. His normally unyielding resolve was tested as he navigated the surreal environment. The Orcish security chief, known for his stoicism, now had to battle not only the physical dangers of the station but also the psychological terrors that the rift unearthed. Our paths finally reconverged in a section of the station that seemed less affected by the reality warps. Gordhack's towering figure emerged from the distorted corridor, his expression a mix of relief and urgency. "Dr. Miles," he exclaimed, "the station is falling apart. We need to find the core of the reality rift and shut it down." Together, we made our way to the heart of the station, where the reality rift was located. The journey was a descent into madness, each step taking us deeper into the fractured reality that the rift had created. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. As we approached the core, the air grew heavier, the pressure of the warped reality bearing down on us. The rift of madness had torn through the fabric of our world, and it was up to us to mend it. Little did we know, the greatest challenge lay just ahead, in the shadows of the distorted station that had become our battleground against the impossible. As Gordhack and I ventured closer to the core of Horizon Station, Where the reality rift resided, the distortions in the fabric of the station intensified. The corridors twisted and turned in impossible ways, the architecture seeming to defy the laws of physics. It was as if the station itself had become a living, breathing entity, its structure an ever-changing maze designed to disorient and terrify. The air was thick with a palpable sense of dread, and each step forward felt like a descent into madness. The station's usual hum of activity was replaced by an eerie silence, broken only by the occasional creaks and groans of the shifting structure around us. In this labyrinth of altered reality, Gordhak and I found ourselves separated once again, each trapped in our own nightmarish illusion. My surroundings became a reflection of my deepest fears and anxieties. The walls closed in around me, and I found myself reliving moments of past failures and traumas. It was as if the rift was feeding off my subconscious, conjuring up specters of regret and doubt to break my will. Gordhak, meanwhile, faced his own demons. His illusion manifested as a monstrous entity, a beast from Orcish folklore known to embody the fears and guilt of its beholder. He battled the creature, his physical strength matched against the manifestation of his inner turmoil. It was a fight that tested not only his physical prowess but also his mental fortitude. Despite the overwhelming terror and confusion, we both clung to the reality we knew. I focused on my training as a psychiatrist, using techniques of grounding and self-awareness to see through the rift's manipulations. Gordhak drew on his years of discipline and training, his warrior spirit unyielding in the face of the psychological onslaught. Slowly, we overcame the illusions, breaking free from the rift's grasp on our minds. The hallucinations faded, then we found ourselves back in the twisted corridors of the station, now more determined than ever to put an end to the chaos. Reunited, Gordhak and I continued our journey to the core of the station. The reality warps grew more intense as we neared our destination, the very structure of the station seeming to protest our advance. But we pressed on, driven by the need to restore sanity in order to Horizon Station. What awaited us at the rift's core was beyond anything we could have anticipated. The heart of the madness was a place where reality and illusion blurred, where the fate of the station and its crew would be decided. Gordhak and I finally reached the core of Horizon Station, where the reality rift was located. The room was a surreal spectacle, the air alive with shimmering energy. The rift itself was a towering structure of intricate design, its components whirring and pulsating with a strange light. Around it, crew members lay in catatonic states, their eyes open but unseeing, lost in their own private realities. The scene was haunting, a stark reminder of the rift's power to warp mind and matter. The crew members, once vibrant individuals contributing to the station's mission, were now prisoners of their own minds. It was a sobering sight, one that solidified our resolve to shut down the rift. As we approached the device, its activity intensified. The air crackled with energy, and the fabric of reality seemed to thin around us. The boundaries between the physical world and the surreal landscapes created by the rift blurred, creating a disorienting, dreamlike environment. "We need to act fast," I said to Gordhak, my voice barely above a whisper. "The longer the rift is active, the more irreversible these effects might become." Gordhak nodded, his expression grim. "Let's shut this nightmare down." We worked together to navigate the rift's complex control panel. The task was daunting, as the technology was unlike anything we had encountered. It was a race against time, with the station continuing to warp around us, and the risk of getting lost in the rift's illusions ever present. As we initiated the shutdown sequence, the rift responded. It surged with a blinding light, enveloping us in its radiance. The world around us seemed to dissolve, leaving us in a void of swirling colors and shapes. It was as if the rift was making a final attempt to trap us in its warped reality. But we held on, our focus unwavering. We were the station's last hope, the only ones who could end the madness that had engulfed Horizon Station. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. In that moment, standing at the heart of madness, Gordhack and I were more than just a human psychiatrist and an orc security chief. We were guardians of reality, fighting to pull Horizon Station back from the brink of chaos. The rift of madness had tested us in ways we could never have imagined, but together we stood resolute, ready to face whatever lay on the other side of the blinding light. Engulfed by the blinding light of the reality rift, Gordhack and I found ourselves thrust into separate, surreal worlds crafted by our subconscious fears and memories. The rift's power had created a reality based on our innermost thoughts, a realm where the line between what was real and what was imagined blurred dangerously. In my isolated world, I was transported back to moments of my life filled with doubt and insecurity. I walked through a version of Horizon Station that mirrored my past, reliving moments of professional and personal failure. The station's corridors became a gallery of my fears, each door opening to a scene of past regrets. It was a psychological gauntlet, designed to break my spirit and trap me in a cycle of despair. Meanwhile, Gordhack faced his own battle. He found himself in a version of Horizon Station that resembled the battlefield from his past, filled with the horrors of war and loss. Orcish warriors and human soldiers clashed in endless combat, a representation of the internal conflict that had plagued him for years. He fought valiantly, struggling to reconcile his warrior past with his present role as a protector and peacekeeper. Despite the overwhelming nature of these illusions, we both clung to the reality we knew to be true. My training as a psychiatrist became my anchor, allowing me to recognize the manifestations for what they were, figments of the rift's manipulative power. I pushed through the illusions, holding on to the memories of the crew and the mission that needed me. Similarly, Gordhack, drawing on his strength of will and unwavering resolve, saw through the facade of endless war. He understood that these visions were mere reflections of his fears, not the reality he lived in. With a fierce determination, he fought his way through the illusions, seeking a path back to the true world. As we overcame our personal trials, the surreal worlds began to dissolve, fading away like a bad dream. We found ourselves gradually returning to the core of Horizon Station, where the reality rift still pulsed with energy. The battle within had strengthened our resolve, fortifying us for the final challenge that lay ahead. Together again, Gordhack and I faced the rift's core, now more determined than ever to end its reign of madness. We had traversed the landscapes of our minds, confronted our deepest fears, and emerged ready to restore reality to Horizon Station. The journey back to the physical world was a testament to the power of the human and Orcish spirit, unyielding even in the face of the unimaginable. Having emerged from the depths of our subconscious battles, Gordhack and I found Horizon Station caught in a state of fractured reality. The station was a patchwork of the real and surreal, with sections stuck in various states of distortion. Crew members wandered in confusion, some trapped in their own hallucinatory worlds, unable to discern the real from the imagined. The station's once orderly structure was now a chaotic blend of shifting corridors and impossible geometries. Walls undulated and floors seemed to fold into themselves. It was as if the entire station had become a living entity, its architecture an extension of the reality rift's madness. Despite the disorientation, Gordhack and I pushed forward. We navigated the chaotic environment, using our combined knowledge of the station's layout and the altered reality to guide us. The journey to the rift's control room was a perilous trek through a world that defied all rules of physics and logic. Along the way, we encountered crew members lost in their own illusions. With a mixture of medical expertise and reassuring strength, we managed to guide some back to reality, offering a semblance of hope amidst the madness. The control room was our final destination, the place where we could end the rift's influence. As we approached, the distortions intensified, as if the rift was aware of our intentions and was resisting our efforts. Finally, we reached the control room, a place that was now barely recognizable. The room twisted and turned upon itself, a kaleidoscope of hallucinatory visuals. But at its center, the reality rift stood unchanged, its core pulsating with an ominous energy. Gordhack and I worked together, fighting through the mental and physical exhaustion to initiate the shutdown sequence. The task was complex, requiring precise manipulation of the rift's controls amidst the ever-shifting reality. As we neared the completion of the sequence, the rift pulsed with a final surge of energy, attempting to ensnare us in one last illusion. But we were undeterred, our resolve hardened by the trials we had faced. Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. With a final push, we activated the shutdown. The blinding light that had once enveloped us began to recede, and slowly, the station returned to normal. The walls steadied, the floors realigned, and reality reasserted itself. We had faced the heart of madness and emerged victorious. The Rift of Madness, a device that had promised to expand the boundaries of understanding, had instead shown us the dangers of delving too deeply into the unknown. But in its challenge, we found strength, the strength of unity, resilience, and the unbreakable will of the human and Orcish spirit. In the control room, with the reality rift finally silenced, Gordhack and I stood amidst the remnants of the chaos it had wrought. The station, now stable, was a stark contrast to the maelstrom of madness we had just endured. Yet, the silence that followed was not entirely reassuring. It was the calm after a storm that had shaken the very foundations of our reality. As we surveyed the control room, it was evident that the rift had not gone quietly. The room was a scene of disarray, with panels torn open and wires spewing from the consoles. The air still held a faint charge, a reminder of the incredible power that had been unleashed. Our immediate concern turned to the crew of Horizon Station. Many were still recovering from the psychological effects of the rift's influence. As a psychiatrist, I felt a profound responsibility to help them through the aftermath. The station's medical team, working tirelessly, began the process of psychological evaluation and support. Gordhack, meanwhile, coordinated with the station's security and engineering teams to assess and repair the physical damages. His leadership was crucial in restoring order and functionality to Horizon Station. The Orcish security chief, once a figure of stoic authority, had now become a symbol of resilience and courage. In the aftermath of the crisis, we discovered the true extent of the rift's impact. It had not only affected the minds of the crew, but had also caused spatial and temporal anomalies throughout the station. These anomalies, while mostly benign, posed a new set of challenges for the crew, puzzles in space and time that needed solving. As we worked to bring Horizon Station back to its full operational capacity, the experience of the rift stayed with us. It had been a harrowing journey, one that tested our limits and forced us to confront the unknown. Yet, in facing these challenges, we had discovered a newfound strength, a unity forged through adversity. The Rift of Madness was more than just a scientific anomaly. It was a lesson in the dangers of unchecked curiosity and the power of the human and Orcish spirit. As Horizon Station continued its orbit around the mysterious planet, we knew that our experience would forever be a part of its history, a tale of terror, triumph, and the unyielding will to explore the unknown. The days following the shutdown of the reality rift were a time of restoration and reflection on Horizon Station. The crew, both human and orc, worked together to repair the physical and emotional scars left by the rift's influence. The station gradually returned to its former state, the hum of scientific research and exploration filling the corridors once again. As the station's psychiatrist, I, Dr. Hannah Miles, dedicated myself to helping the crew recover from their experiences. The psychological impact of the rift's illusions was profound, but through counseling and support, we began to heal. The crew's resilience in the face of such unimaginable terror was a testament to the strength of the human and Orcish spirit. Gordhak, the Orc security chief, emerged from the ordeal with a deeper understanding of the complexities of the mind. His experience with the rift's illusions had challenged his perceptions, but it had also strengthened his resolve to protect the crew and the station. Together, we reflected on the events that had unfolded. The reality rift, initially a symbol of progress and exploration, had become a cautionary tale of the dangers of tampering with the fabric of reality. It was a reminder that some mysteries, while tempting, are better left unexplored. The station's mission continued, but with a renewed sense of caution and respect for the unknown realms of space. The experience had changed us all, binding us together in a shared journey through the depths of fear and back. As Horizon Station resumed its orbit around the mysterious planet, the crew looked to the future with a sense of unity and purpose. We had faced the rift of madness and emerged stronger, our bonds forged through adversity. As I conclude this chapter of the story, I turn to you, the reader. Write in the comments below the video, what do you think about this story? Do you think the characters did the right thing? Click the like button and subscribe if you like our stories. The Rift of Madness was more than an anomaly. It was a journey into the unknown, a challenge that tested our limits and revealed the true power of unity and resilience. It was a story that would echo through the halls of Horizon Station for years to come, a tale of terror, triumph, and the enduring human and Orcish spirit.